Hi, thanks so much for visiting me. My name is Shannon, and I'm going to tell you about my Mary Magdalene and Jesus painting behind me. Uh, First, let me give you a little tour. This is the center of the painting that you're looking at now, and it's kind of like the middle of a cross. So it splits down the middle, and then there's a latitude middle. Okay, what's going on right here is Jesus. And there's four elements. You have the water, and then the air that's bubbling up from the unmanifest into the pool. And these fish symbolize fire, and the lotus symbolizes the earth. And then there's also a little trinity thing going on here. What I wanted to talk about today is the division of waves by 12. I've heard it said that Jesus is a tone. I've also heard that highly developed souls will have the ability to go back home by using their sense of smell. And I'm wondering if right now we're working on those capacities, just developing them, because we hear, we see, and we smell all in this region, and I think we're developing to a point where we're getting enough energy in this part of our head to actually use it for what it's for. So, you know how Jesus had 12 disciples, and it can almost be said that like he was the pure form of a human, and then there were 12 surrounding him that sort of went out into the world. There are, in our common knowledge right now, we divide color up into 12 hues. So you have the primary colors, depending on like what kind of ink you're using. We'll just say it's yellow, red, and blue, which is really like cyan, magenta, and yellow. Those three colors mix to create three other colors: green, purple, orange. And then there's three more from there. What I'm doing here is using a flower to represent those 12 hues on the basic color wheel. Now, if you combine all your colors on a wheel and it's all shaded together, you'll find that the very center is neutral. And the further out you go onto the color wheel, the more brilliant the colors become. I've just started the flowers right now. We have ultramarine, cobalt, and cyan blue, and then this will be turquoise and green, lime green, yellow, orange, crimson, kind of like a pink crimson, and then magenta and purple. What's very interesting to me is that the way we divide color into 12 corresponds to the way we divide sound into 12. In our Western music, equal temperament means that we divide an octave into 12 parts. Now, some argue that this is an imperfect division, and it's also been noted that it's possible that the way we divide color is also an imperfect science, because sometimes we're not able to recreate color completely exactly. It's really what we're dealing with is waves of energy that perhaps we haven't completely mastered or completely understood. And it's also interesting that in the world of perfumery, we talk about different notes in a perfume, and typically there'll be 3 different notes in a perfume. Like, you might talk about a base note, like, okay, we'll use sandalwood as our base note, and then go from there. You want to hit these different smells so that the smell is harmonious. It's kind of like why, you know, if you smell an essential oil, it's really strong and it might be pleasing in one way, but if you smell a really well-made perfume, it just kind of like drifts into your nose and it smells just kind of delightful and like, what was that? You know, it's hard to figure out, kind of like tasting a really delicious meal. It hits these different notes. Another thing that's interesting is that smell and taste are affected for someone who has an accident. Like, if they hit their head, they might lose their sense of smell and taste. And this is also where the pineal gland is located, in the forehead. And it's sometimes symbolized as a pine cone, and some, I have heard talk about Jesus in terms of that pine cone, where if that can be fully activated, then we might be like higher beings. The thing that I wanted to say is that Mary Magdalene is sometimes spoken of as a master of perfumery. And one of the things that I think is going on with that is that she was a woman, a being who mastered the harmonies of energy. And scent, sound, and sight all seem to correspond with each other. And that's what I'm playing with right now with this painting. Additionally, the Buddha said to look at a flower. And I think there's a lot to that. I don't necessarily know what it is. But a flower always has a center with petals radiating out of it. And there's something to that. And that's a little bit what I'm doing with this painting right now. So, I hope that was some useful information. If it wasn't useful, I hope it was entertaining. Thank you very much for listening to me. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, or wherever you may find yourself. God bless.